Hey crafters, welcome to September. I hope this year has been a good one for you, because we are really quickly coming to the end of it and Christmas is not too far away. Whoa, that's crazy. If this is your first time here, I'm Sarah and I love all things craft. This month's free SVG is this rose stained glass card. I just saw the stage musical of Beauty and the Beast and it was amazing, by the way, and I feel like this card reminds me of that. I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and if you don't want to use it as a card, you can also use it as a 3D shadow box. There are certainly enough layers for that. For this one, you pretty much just need cardstock, some glue, and your Cricut. And at any time, if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I would love to have a chat. So grab those supplies and let's get crafting. The supplies you'll need for this project is basically just some cardstock. So you'll need some black and white for sure, but then the colors of the actual lead light is up to you. I chose red for the rose, green for the leaves, etc. Yellow, and I did like a couple of shades of blue. It's good to have a blue card mat so it's not as sticky. This one is super sticky, but it's not as sticky as the green mat, and it's easier to get your cardstock off. So grab all of those supplies that you need and let's get crafting. Before we get crafting, you will also need a pre-cut card, or this one is just the perfect size that I need, and I'm just going to fold it in half and make it into a card. It's a little bit thicker than your average cardstock. There is a template in with the SVG that will give you the ability to cut it out onto your Cricut so that you can have the card if you want to make it into a card. There's also an envelope template in there as well. All right, now let's get crafting. So I've uploaded the SVG for the card to Design Space. Now when the card comes in like this, it just looks pretty flat. But if you go over here, you will see, and you ungroup the layers, that there are actually 10 layers involved in this card, which is a lot. So we'll just go back and group them back together, because just before we do that, it's easier while they're still grouped together just to resize it. Now I like to make mine 14.5 centimeters square, but that's up to you how big you would like your card, and you can just resize it to whatever you like. All right, so then if we ungroup the layers, you can then see where all those layers are. Now I'm going to use these colors that are on here for my card, but if you decide you'd like to use different colors, then go ahead and change the colors of the layers on with your color swatch up the top here. I do find it's easy to make sure you cut it from the right cardstock when the color in Design Space is the same as the card you're cutting it out from. So there's not very much more that we need to do with this. If you want to change some colors, I'm actually going to do this layer white. So I'll just change that to white. And then we just go to make it. Okay, now I'm just going to move a few layers around, because these black layers, Design Space is putting them on all different mats. I know because the size I chose, I can actually fit two next to each other. So I'm just going to move this one over to here and click these three dots, move object, and move it to the other black mat there. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. Put that one down there and move object to the first one. So now I've got all three of the black layers on the one sheet of card, and I can cut that out at one time, which will save me time, which is good. And I didn't change the color of this. I actually need this to be white as well. So I'll just move that to the white one, and there we go. So we've got the two white layers being cut out there. We've got the three black layers, and then you've got your different colored ones on the different mats. All right, so it's as easy as cutting it out from here. So we'll go to continue. Now the setting I like to cut out things from cardstock is cardstock for intricate cuts. Now I do like it because it does two passes over the card, which just creates a cleaner cut, I find. You can use whatever setting you know works for you and cuts out your cardstock clean. So the black layer is quite intricate, so I find it just needs to be delicately cut and removed from your mat. All right, let's cut that out and we'll see how that goes. All right, so I have cut out all of those layers and they cut out quite well. It did take me a while, but that's good. So we've got all of them all cut out here. There we go. So there's lots of layers. Now, you've got a couple of options. You can make it into a card and stick them all together, which is pretty much what I'm going to do because they are quite thick, and if you wanted to put some foam tape in between them, you definitely could do that. But it actually has a really nice 3D look just when you stick all of the layers together. So this actually looks really nice as a card, but then you could take the card and make it into, like, put it in a frame, and then you've got a nice cute little frame to keep as well. All right, so let's put this together. So if we keep them all in order, we'll start from the back and work up. So just take the last two layers like that, open them up, and we'll just stick them together. So the glue I use is this one, which I quite like, but I just pop it in one of these bottles that's got the thin nozzle on it, which helps with a bit of precision gluing. So we're just going to glue these layers together once I get my glue unclogged. This is where the little nozzle comes into play, is with these tiny little bits here. Just grab these two layers and line them up like that. Once they're in place, you can stick them down. And then we'll take our next layer, because they're already upside down, so I'm just taking them off the pile. Now this glue does dry clear. There we go. Next one. The next layer. There we go, that's looking good. There we go. Now I did make this black layer slightly thicker to cover up all the layers underneath, which seems to have worked quite well, so that the black outline is all you see. Just looking pretty good there. See, it's already got a lot of dimension on it, even though it's stuck together, so you don't need to put those foam tapes in. Okay. Now, if you like, you can just stick this on like that, or you could put some foam tape under this layer so that the frame just sort of stands out a bit. I might do that. Make sure you put your pin back in your glue so it doesn't clog up. Alright, so I've just got these little squares which I find are super easy to use. That's it. With some tweezers. All right. There we go. That just adds a bit of like a proper border to it. Now, I really like the way this card has turned out. Now, you didn't even need to put that on a card. You could just put that in a frame, and there you go. Happy birthday. That's your gift, which is very nice. So that card I have, or the cut card that you made, or the pre-cut one, pre-folded one you already had, whatever works for you. Just grab that, and then it's just a matter of sticking our card to the top. So just maybe make sure you put a little bit of extra glue on this just to keep it in place. And there we go. Happy birthday. This is giving me Beauty and the Beast vibes. This rose is giving me those vibes. What do you think? Yeah, I really like it. It turned out so well. So good. I love how that turned out. I am a super fan of roses. They're one of my favorite flowers. I hope you had fun crafting with me today, and you can find all the links that you need in the description below, including the link to the SVG that we used today. And while you're down in the description, why not sign up for my newsletter so that you never miss a free SVG. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be back soon with some more crafty adventures, but until then, have a great week and I'll see you next time. Bye.